All right, what's up? Welcome inside A Bettor Morning presented by Rival Fantasy. Rival Fantasy is your all-in-one fantasy sports platform. It's your boy, Corey Parson, the fantasy executive, your favorite fantasy analyst, your favorite host. No cap, Corey. You know all the names. You know what I'm saying? Good morning out there to everybody in the Bettor Sports Network universe, everybody checking in on the chat. Good morning this morning. How's everybody doing as we get ready to push into week 6 of the college football season, week 5 of the NFL season? Coming up on the program today, I will get into some college football matchups. Also, got some rival fantasy pick'ems to get into. That should be a lot of fun with that one right there. Fantasy exec, keep hitting these winning tickets. You need to get involved with that one right there on these fantasy contests over at Rival Fantasy. What else? Cowboys 49ers big game this weekend. We'll hop into that in a few short moments. But I got to start in our nation's capital. With that once proud franchise. That once proud franchise was beat by 20 points last night by the lowly Chicago Bears. The Commanders as a 6-point dog the Bears as a 6-point dog go into Washington left hand up and beat the Washington Commanders 40-20. Dominant performance from Justin Fields, throwing for 282 yards and 4 touchdowns. DJ Moore went crazy. If you got to go against the Fields DJ Moore stack this week in your fantasy league, good luck. DJ Moore, 8 for 230, 3 touchdowns, 8 for 230, 3 touchdowns. He just went crazy. Commanders back into that defense look wild, suspect. Left hand up for the Commanders. That once proud franchise had the Boo Birds out in Landover, Maryland last night. Boo! Boo! New ownership group sitting right there. Magic Johnson after the game said the team had no fire. They ain't had no fire in a few years, Magic. This is the same old thing if you're a Commander fan. If you are a Washington football fan, if you're a Washington Redskin fan, doesn't make a difference what the name is, the product on the field remains the same. An embarrassment to people who live in the nation's capital. An embarrassment to football crazy Washington Capital Beltway. An embarrassment to that once proud franchise. You know how many people grew up fans of the Washington football team, the Washington Redskins, Commanders, whatever you want to call it, left hand up? An embarrassment. A capital embarrassment. Every year, the same thing, week in, week out. You get a little optimism. Oh, they look good against Philadelphia, came back. Feel like they got cheated. Some of the fans did. Come on, the Chicago Bears drop a stinker on Thursday night in front of your home fans. Disgusting, despicable performance from the Washington Commanders. Couldn't stop DJ Moore. If Khalil Herbert didn't get hurt, he'd have ran all over you. You say, oh, well, Sam Howell almost threw for 400 yards. Wow, he threw 51 passes. If Sam Howell's throwing the ball 51 times, it ain't a good thing. The Washington Commanders let the Chicago Bears go crazy on them, running the football, throwing the football. 3 for 6 in the red zone, 7 to 15 on third down. Washington turns the football over twice. Just a bad performance. Showed a little bit of life in the second half. Not enough to get it done. Got poor Magic Johnson in there looking like, man, what is this that I bought into? What is this that I invested in? For how much of a nice man Ron Rivera is, he's a horrible football coach. Remember I told y'all in the preseason that in his 13 years of being a head coach, Ron Rivera only has been above 500 3 times. Cam Newton made Ron Rivera. Nobody else can do anything with Ron Rivera. That's it. He was the only time Ron Rivera was successful when he was coaching Cam Newton. Remember, Ron Rivera was supposed to be a defensive guy. But I don't see the team playing any better defense. As a matter of fact, the defense stinks. It's the worst part of the team is the back end. Ron Rivera was supposed to be a defensive guy. He was a defensive guru, a defensive mastermind. The guru ain't guruing. Ron Rivera, it's time to go to the front office. If that's going to be the easy way out. Is it the front office or is it the couch in your house? Either or. It's Standing on the sidelines coaching a pro team is not in the cards no more for Ron Rivera. It's over, bro. It's over. Take your lifetime below 500 record, go to the front office with Magic Johnson or go to the couch out there in Arlington, Virginia, or wherever you stay at, probably Stafford or Stratford or some fancy place like where the rich folks like Heather stay at, out there in the Capital Beltway. Disaster. Booed off the field on your home field in Thursday Night Football by the Chicago Bears. They had Chicago Bear fans in the FedEx Field chanting, "Let's go Bears." They don't even chant "Let's go Bears" at Soldier Field, but they was good enough tonight to drum up a "Let's go Bears" chant at FedEx Field. A disaster. The Washington Commanders are a disaster. Ron Rivera is a disaster. Nice guy. You always got to say how much of a nice guy he is. But listen, nice guy don't win games. Nice guy don't have the owner sitting up in the owner's booth looking like a fool. Nice guy got the people booing the team off the field in week 5 in a home stadium. Doesn't make any sense. Terrible job by the Washington Commanders. That was a gutless performance. Whew. I don't know what they're going to do. Quarterback, coach, tear the whole thing down. Tear the whole thing down, start it over. Horrible performance last night. Booed off the field in your home stadium on Thursday Night Football versus the Chicago Bears. Let's go Bears chants break out in FedEx Field on a Thursday night. Whole fan base disgusted. Magic Johnson disgusted. Do better, Commanders. Now, the Chicago Bears, shout out to them. They get off the snide, win their first game in 14. Good to see them have a little bit of optimism and hope and get that moment. They were lit in the locker room. You say, oh, it's only one win, but they deserved it after all of that losing, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to them. But the Commanders, got a lot of work needs to be done with that Washington Commander team. And it starts with the head coach. And that's where it should start this offseason. I'm not saying get rid of the guy during the season, but it's not going to happen, Ron Rivera. This is the day you might as well go home and tell your wifey poo, like, listen, we probably going to have to be out here in the front office, or we're going to move back to Charlotte or something like that, or West Virginia, or wherever the Rivera feel more comfortable at. It's not going to be in FedEx Field. I tell you that one. That office is going to be gone, Jack. Big matchup in the NFC this week. Dallas Cowboys, San Francisco 49ers. Game of the year type game in the NFC. San Francisco comes into the game 3.5-point favorite. Total sitting at 45. 3-1. Dallas Cowboys go to Levi Stadium to take on the San Francisco 49ers. A rematch of the last two. That division round game, that might have been a wild card game a few years ago. Definitely a division round game last year. 49ers won that game after they broke Tony Pollard's leg. But Dak Prescott was a DOG dog, not a DAWG dog. Right? You know the particulars in this one. 49ers run deep for 49ers and Christian McCaffrey run game versus the Dallas Cowboy run defense. Brock Purdy, 49ers passing offense versus Michael Parsons, the 49ers Cowboys pass rush. That's where the game be won and lost. Dallas should be healthy across the offensive line this week. That makes things better. Tony Pollard out there makes things better as well. But those of you who know me know first and foremost that this game doesn't mean nothing. Cowboys can go out there and beat them 40-0 like they did the Giants. I didn't forget Giant fans. Dallas Cowboys can go out to San Francisco, win the football game 40-0 and it not mean nothing. Because for Dallas Cowboys, the only things that matters is when you get to January. These games in the regular season don't mean nothing. A win would be nice. Does it mean anything? Not at all. There's one person, though, that this game means something to. There's one person who the narrative of this season can change if that person doesn't show up. There is one person that No Cap Corey is going to have his eyes on. These eyes right here. There's one person. He wears a star on his helmet. His number is number 4. He is the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott. The narrative of your season rests upon what goes on Sunday night. Because you see, this is what Dallas Cowboys like to do. They sit that defense on you, right? And they stop you from running the football. And then they score on you. And then you turn the ball over, then they score on the short field. Then they sit that pass rush on you and you turn the ball over and they score on the short field. That's basically Dallas's MO. Sit the pass rush on you, have you turn the ball over, they use field position to get their offense going. That's how you can play against the New England Patriots. That's how you can play against the New York Giants. That's how you can play against the dregs of the NFC. But when you step up in competition, they're not going to turn the ball over. And guess what? They're going to run the football. Your Achilles heel. So you know what that means? That means the defense is not going to be charged with winning this football game. This football game is going to have to be won by number 4. And if you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, that's a scary proposition. Because when number 4 has to win the game, a lot of times he wins the game for the other team. Fantasy executive, be fair to Dak Prescott. I am being fair to Dak Prescott. The numbers don't lie. Well, let's talk about this season. Let's talk about the current. Okay, only 1 interception this year in the game they lost. In the red zone as they were trying to tie the score. Number 4, you're going to have to win this game. And here's the deal. If you win the game, you can redefine your season, but you can't redefine Dallas' season. If you lose the game, I don't want no complaining. I don't want no crying. I don't want no I'm not being treated fairly. I don't want no how you said when they brought Trey Lance in, you never know what they expect in this business. I expect you not turn the football over. That's what they expect in this business. But it hasn't been done yet. I'm going to go into the game with a clearer mind. If Dak doesn't turn the game over, love the Cowboys plus 3.5, sprinkle the money line. So that's where I'm going. I'm putting my money behind the fact that Dak Prescott will not make a critical turnover to lose this game. That Dak Prescott will actually go out there and win this game. So for everybody who says I'm a Dak Prescott hater, I'm putting my money behind number 4 on Sunday night. If he lets me down, Monday morning will be a very interesting program, to say the least. I'm trying to keep my composure, number 4. Please don't make me lose it right here in front of these good people on A Bettor Morning this weekend. Speaking of this weekend, you probably need a win in your fantasy football league. I can help you with that by telling you to start a free 7-day trial of Fantasy Alarm's All-Pro subscription. Get all the Week 5 DFS content and picks for free. Go to fantasyalarm.com/win. Once again, that's a free 7-day trial of Fantasy Alarm's All-Pro subscription. You get the Week 5 DFS content and picks for free. Go to fantasyalarm.com/win because I know you need a win this weekend, especially if you were going up against a team with DJ Moore and Justin Fields. They must have put up almost 100 points already. So you're going to have to battle back. So maybe you just need to get over to Fantasy Alarm and let them help you help yourself by winning this year. Got a couple of interesting college football games on the docket this week that I want to talk about. Run through right quick in the top 25. Got 2 games tonight, but Kansas State and Oklahoma State interesting. Nebraska and Illinois interesting as well. So you got Power 5 schools. But tomorrow kicks off noon Eastern time with the Red River game. The Red River game always has national championship implications. Texas already has a road victory over Alabama. If they can win the game at the Cotton Bowl, I think you would be pretty sure that Texas would almost be just about a lock unless they fall apart down the stretch for the college football playoff. This is a big spot for Texas. Oklahoma gets to win, then they can start talking about a Big 12 championship and a possible spot in the college football playoff. But I think Texas is the way to go in this one. Also at noon. Very interesting competition in the SEC. And you wouldn't have saw this coming before the season started with the LSU Tigers traveling to Missouri to face the Missouri Tigers. You got a battle of Tigers. Wow. This one right here is interesting, though. The quarterbacks in this game, Jaden Daniel for LSU and Brady Cook for Missouri. This kid, Brady Cook, is cooking. He could be the best quarterback in the SEC. LSU, with that defense on the road, LSU is the favorite. Don't be surprised Missouri knocks them off this week. And another thing about LSU, why is LSU still ranked in the top 25 with 2 losses? Get LSU out the top 25. They gave up 60 points last week. Here's an interesting one, a very interesting one. I want y'all to keep an eye on this one. The Washington State Cougars, 13th ranked Washington State Cougars, undefeated, versus the 3-1 UCLA Bruins in UCLA. Circle this one as a Heisman Trophy type matchup. I keep telling you about Washington State quarterback Cameron Ward. This is really going to be his first big-time game because Washington State normally play on the Pac-12 network 10:30 at night. Nobody don't watch that. Nobody even have the Pac-12 network. But this is what you do get. This kid can play. This game is a 3:30 start at UCLA. It's going to be a lot of eyeballs on him. I'm telling you, this guy can play. He's going to make a Heisman Trophy statement. And listen, the UCLA young quarterback too, Dante Moore, is pretty good himself. There's some real good young quarterbacks in this game right here. What else we got? Colorado in prime is at Arizona State. Their favorite. They should win that game, but it's going to be tough. Alabama goes on the road to Texas A&M, 3:30 CBS spot. Big game for Alabama. Told you earlier this week, Alabama could end up still being the team that represents the SEC in the college football playoffs, and I think they're going to be. They got to win this game right here. They got to go into College Station and get an SEC road victory. They already have one that gives them an advantage on a lot of other teams in the conference, especially on their side of the division. So I like Alabama to pull it off. Should be an interesting game. And then you got Kentucky going into Georgia late that night. 7 o'clock start on ESPN. Kentucky rattled off. Kentucky was amazing last week at home versus Florida. Now they go to Athens at night. The result is not going to be the same. But I think Kentucky fights. I just don't think that they're able to pull off a win and get the W. So there you go, a little bit of college football roundup right there for you. Get ready for the weekend in college football. Obviously, before we get up out of here, I got to give you some winners over at Rival Fantasy. First, let me tell you about Rival Fantasy, your all-in-one fantasy sports platform. Rival Fantasy is a all-in-one fantasy sports platform. Play challenges, Fantasybook, Fantasy Bingo, plus season-long fantasy football. New users who sign up at Rival get a $200 deposit match and a complimentary first play voucher. Go to joinrival.com/alarm. All right, let's get ready to hop into it. And let's look at, okay, do we have it up there? Okay, there we go. You got challenges. I'm going with Josh Allen versus, Lamar could go hero ball, though. This is an interesting one right here. Jackson versus Allen. Allen's been crazy across the pond versus Jacksonville. I am going to take Josh Allen. I think Baltimore's going to be in the battle this week. Let's see what we get next. All right, that one is confirmed. I know the fantasy executive is Mr. Rival Fantasy. I'm Mr. Challenges. I just get win after win after win after win. They're trying to figure out a way now to stop me. That's why they're slowing the spinning down. But the fantasy executive will reign. Who do we got next? I love Jalen Hurts at this spot right here. I think you see some hero ball from Jalen Hurts on the road. I'm going to go Jalen Hurts with my play of the week. I like Jalen Hurts on the road versus the Rams. I think this is going to be a tough game. And when the games are tough, Jalen Hurts normally shows up in the biggest spots. So I go a little bit of hero ball from Jalen Hurts. I'm taking Jalen Hurts in this matchup right here. So there you go right there. Couple plays this weekend for Rival Fantasy. Don't forget, Rival Fantasy is your all-in-one fantasy sports platform. Play challenges, Fantasybook, Fantasy Bingo, plus season-long fantasy football. New users who sign up at Rival Fantasy get a $20 deposit match and a complimentary first play voucher. go to joinrival.com/alarm. There you go right there. Good luck to everybody this weekend. I want to thank y'all for checking in and rocking with your boy all week. Don't forget, good luck. May the winners be yours. And please enjoy your weekend. Have a better morning and a better weekend.